China Unicom and China Mobile, the leading network providers for China, as we know, are already contractually binded to finger motion. This synergy renders finger motion susceptible to Chinese market fluctuations. As China starts to repair their economy, their indices are showing strength. Let's review those charts now. Welcome back to the channel. This is ARCa, and let's dive into ticker symbol FNGR. Let's kill them, team. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. Let's dive into ticker symbol FNGR, as there has been a very strong session today, and I'm very happy to have seen that. I am very excited to have also seen the fact that some people ended up getting long this asset at the bottom side of around $3.94, $3.92, which was around the lows that we were expecting to go. Anyway, we were expecting, honestly, we were expecting a 385, but we're not able to nail that very bottom side. But still, congratulations to you if you did catch that long. And I mean, look at this right now. The price action is sitting at $4.99. That was the ultimate bet at the end of the live stream today, is if we were going to be able to close at $5 or not, or above $5, right? Traditional market close, of course, team did not come in with that close. It came in at 486, but the aftermarket is showing some strength as well. So this is a chart where I actually ran a small little back test that is consistent to the CNYA iShares China ETF. So the reason why I'm running this is, of course, because, you know, China Unicom and China Mobile are are large enough companies to be you know, kind of mangled around by their broader markets, right? So please notice here that the 3-day time frame is showing massive confluence. So this is, I mean, this is absolute rhyming here, right? So I'm very excited to see that the CNYA is starting to repair, and this was the bottom side that we were talking about, that this would likely be the floor before us continuing to the upside, and it has shown effectiveness. Okay, so now moving on to the correlation chart between CNYA and FNGR, please notice here that we're increasing the correlation. So this is the correlation coefficient that actually pairs FNGR and the CNYA ETF. To understand how tight the correlation can be, it is still increasing here, team. So that is looking very good. Not to mention, in 20 hours and 37 minutes, aka tomorrow's market close, we would, in essence, be closing a 3-day bullish engulfing here on the ETF, and a 3-day bullish engulfing on FNGR as well. Okay, so that's not looking bad at all. Of course, 20 hours and 36 minutes is still kind of an eternity away. We still have to evaluate price all the way till then, but no problem at all. Let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we have. So this here, this is the descending triangle, the right angle triangle that we've been writing for some time, and we've identified as a potential range for us to evaluate, right? So here was the 385 target that we were talking about as a potential support bottom. We in fact ended up just reaching 396. I correct myself. So instead of that 392, right? So we ended up in that 396, which is still within the range of support that we looked out for, and bounced to the upside. So if you would like to know what that bottom wick to the top wick is thus far, that was about a 29.66% move to the upside from that bottom side. Okay, so very impressive run thus far for FNGR, and it's looking like it's starting to knock at the door of this resistance. Okay, so now as we approach the apex, this is around the time to where we can consider a potential breakout or breakdown. This formation is favoring the bulls, but know for a fact that it can be played to the downside as well. Okay, so this is it is critical that we understand continuation formations as well. Okay, team. So let's go ahead and evaluate some of those targets from the top side of the triangle, aka hypotenuse, all the way to the bottom side, or the bottom support of the triangle itself. You can take a trend line from there and apply it to the supposed area of breakout. Okay, so now as you can see here, the just saying that we were to break, if we were to break out here on Thursday, September 7th, which is probably 75% to the apex of the triangle, that would be suggesting a top side target of around 891 with a range leading up to 947, right? Of course, if we move this and start suggesting a potential breakout sooner than that time, then you'll see that the target will also, it would rhyme the same way. Right, so let's move it up just like this, and please notice here that if we were to break out 2 days from now, 2 days from now, you can see that the topside target leads to that 947 range, right? So I think it's all relevant. It's no problem. What I like the most is honestly, yes, the touch of the resistance here knocking at the door once again, and the fact that we are now in the process of converting the daily EMA 21 as a form of support. Okay, currently price action still sitting at that 499. We'll evaluate this as we move on through the analysis here. There's still just a bit over a half hour to the after hours close. Okay, so now one more thing we wanted to talk about here. I wanted to actually show you on the 12-hour time frame of the Gaussian bands. Okay, so please notice here that we are absolutely knocking at that door of the mean band as well, but the significance behind this is this. Let me go ahead and get rid of the moving averages and show you. Okay, so from the price action that we faced over here on the early part of August, right, to that $6.20 target, we started kind of trailing and trickling down, right? So we reclaimed the inside of the bands. We bounced here for a little bit. We got the inside of the bottom side of the bands. We resisted. We failed it, and we came outside, right? And we started knocking at the door inside again. So please notice that this candle has come up, and I'm speaking of this candle being today. Okay, this candle came all the way back up, tested that mean band, and rejected, and came back to test the support of the bottom side of the bands. Now, this next candle is yet again entering that resistance range again, and it's very strong as a resistance because the resistance matches the descending triangle resistance too, right? So this is likely why we're facing a little bit of pressure. But upon breaking outside of this mean band and the resistance from the triangle itself, then yeah, I could actually see a range of resistance coming up. And of course, there are a few, but the major point of resistance that I'm looking out for would actually be around here. I would say 542 to about the top side of around 570 at the top side of the bands. Okay, so that's currently what can be considered to be in the cards. And of course, we have to manage our risk. We have to make sure that we are moving according to plan, right? So it is a very difficult play for us to kind of endure here, but we are guided by the charts in some way or another, which I am very grateful for. Okay, so now this was the failed pennant, and I can't tell you how many times over the span of about, like, I would say a year, maybe a year and a half, I've seen pennants do this a lot, where they fail and then they rip. Okay, so this is looking pretty good, but this is just a different outlook. We adjusted this pennant to look like this triangle instead because we noticed that we were starting to create some lower highs in the immediate short term, right? So it's not as relevant anymore. I just want to kind of point that out to you and show you where my mind is, no matter where the charts are sitting, right? So currently, right, still 499 on the price. Please notice that the blue line is where we're sitting, which just so happens to be upside of the wow. So we closed right at the support of the descending broadening wedge top trend line, right? So that's good. That's good. We closed right at it, and now price action is upside of that support line. So this is looking very good. And the reason why I say this is because this is the monthly candle, okay? Every single candle here takes about a month to close. So you're looking at closure in 2 days and 21 hours. So in other words, this could land closure on maybe Wednesday or Thursday at the end of the session. So we'll go ahead and evaluate that as well. Okay, team, so that's looking very powerful too. Let's move on with the analysis and see what else we have. In fact, I think that it would be pretty good for us to consider for us to consider the RSI in this case, okay? And of course, this thing just reset. So let's just go ahead and kind of reset them here and take a look at the immediate short-term time frame to the larger term and see what we have in store for the asset. 30-minute immediate short-term is already facing a little bit of pressure as resistance right here, but we already know that. We have the Gaussian bands and the top side of that right-angle triangle, remember? That is also being shown here with the SMA 14 from the RSI. Nice, very nice. Okay, so now the bi-hourly time frame is suggesting some consolidation, slight upside pivot on that RSI. It's looking okay. All right, and here jumping into the 4-hour time frame, we do have a nice upside pivot on the SMA 14, and the RSI signal is within the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. And seeing that we have an upside pivot starting from the 4-hour, leading into the 6-hour, into the gravitational zone here, take a look at your 12-hour into the daily, making a bullish cross upside of the SMA 14. Seeing that we have this here is very, very powerful, and I do suggest, I'm sorry, and I do have to say that I believe an upside could be coming for FNGR. Now, we should not ignore the bi-daily time frame resistance that we have here, but I will have to point out one thing though. While it is a resistance, please notice and always pay attention to your positioning from your crossovers. Okay, so in this case, the SMA 14 is landing right at about that, the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. So meaning that there is a shot that this RSI signal could in fact succeed the upside of that SMA 14 and make its trek to the upside, then face a little bit of a pullback and get that validation from the SMA 14 before a continuation to the upside. The 5-day time frame RSI is already suggesting that. And I do believe, actually, let me pull this up and take a look at the closure here for the 5-day. Did we already? Okay, so yeah, the 5-day is going to be in about 2 or 3 days, which would be great, because then we would actually start to let me see this pivot here. Yep, yeah, we would actually start to validate some drives of phantom hidden bullish divergence. So this, I would get this out of the way here, because this was the bearish divergence that we identified as a potential drop, which did happen. This pivot here, right, it would be momentum making a higher low to this pivot here, right to this candle, and we connect this pivot to this candle right over here. So the opposition of price action versus momentum, and momentum represented by the RSI, is what's giving you the drive of hidden bullish divergence, right over here. The regular bullish divergence. You have the higher low in momentum, and you have the lower high in price, right? So now what makes it phantom is the fact that you're moving through price action. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at so far, and there are other, there are certainly, let's see, yeah, damn, we have a few, actually, we have a few other drives of bullish divergence coming in, which is absolutely great, right? So this is only piling up right now, and it's on a 5-day time frame, so it does carry some weight. Okay, so that is kind of what I'm looking at here for the FNGR asset. So now I think I did give you those targets too, right? So let's just make sure that we did touch on that. Right, I did give you those targets. I'm thinking that, yeah, if we start breaking outside of the mean band here and the resistance of the triangle, then we could very well be on a path to touch that target of the 542 to 570. And I do see a high probability of it. Okay, not to mention the 12-hour time frame. Earlier today, one of the ARCa members in the YouTube mentioned a golden cross. I think Welby mentioned it, right? But I don't know if that was actually an FNGR or another play, because I couldn't locate it again. So, Welby, if you're there, please let me know where or what time frame. I could have sworn it was a 12-hour, but it's not there now. Okay, so let me know where you saw that and we'll evaluate, okay? But the last thing I wanted to point out here is that with this upside pivot, we are increasing the probabilities or the chances of getting a silver cross on a 12-hour, which would then cascade into the daily, which would be a great bullish signal for FNGR as well. Okay, team. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be absolutely cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.